Welcome to Groundwork Denver's Forks for Good virtual fundraiser. My name is Cindy Chang, and I'm the Executive Director of Groundwork Denver.
I am Michaela Emanuel, and I'm a former youth employee and staff member at Groundwork Denver, and now I serve on the board of directors. I'm excited to share about all of the amazing work Groundwork Denver is doing in our community at our very first virtual fundraiser.
You are about to experience an amazing cooking class with our partners at Yayay Organics. You'll get to learn about Groundwork Denver with us live and through videos, and we hope you'll have fun and interact with us from your home. You should see a chat box to the side of your screen. Keep the chat up and watch it throughout the event for fun surprises and additional information. Before we get started, we want to acknowledge that the land that Michaela and I are standing on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and people. This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other indigenous people. With respect, we pause, recognize, and lift up the voices of these original stewards of the land. You can find resources to support Native communities in the chat box.
For those who don't know, and as a refresher to some, Groundwork Denver is celebrating 18 years of working towards environmental justice here in the Metro Denver area. We are heavily rooted in community, evident today with our sponsors who have pitched in to make this event possible. Brownstein Hyatt Farber Schreck, Colorado State University System, Elite Roofing, Great Outdoors Colorado, Snell and Wilmer, Tribal Architects, Urbana New Homes and House Modern.
Thank you also to ARIA Development, First Citizens Bank, Point B Strategies, and Zim Consulting. Thank you also to our supporters who bought a Community Action Sponsor ticket, like Sarah, Julie, Scott, and Marilyn and Walt. Please listen and watch for your shout out during the event.
While you're enjoying your time with us today, please remember our silent auction will be closing at 11:30 a.m. sharp. If you haven't already, hop over to our silent auction site and bid on some really great items and experiences. To keep things fun and light, we'd love to invite you to play trivia with us, which will be playing in just a few minutes.
In addition to having fun and building community, we're also here today to raise funds for Groundwork Denver's amazing mission. Our goal is to raise $5,000 in our time together today. Every dollar will directly impact the neighborhoods hit hardest by environmental injustice right here in our community. Today, we have a special challenge by an anonymous donor. They are willing to match donations up to $1,500 today. That means if you donate now, your dollars will be doubled by this anonymous donor. To donate now or any time during this program, text DONATE to 94502 and you will receive a link to our donate page. Your donation during this event will make an even bigger impact in 2020. This year, our youth, families, and neighborhoods have been hit hardest by the effects of COVID-19. Our families were often on the front lines, risking their health and the health of their families to keep the essential parts of the city going. They faced multiple threats to their health and livelihoods, not only by the coronavirus, but also because of the historic inequalities and environmental injustices that have led to dirtier indoor and outdoor air, less access to safe outdoor spaces, and less access to healthy food, all things that we have cherished and needed this year. Groundwork Denver has worked throughout this year to combat these inequalities, and your support today will help make that happen. Again, text DONATE to 94502 to make your donation today.
All right, enough with the rundown. Let's get to the food. We are pleased to bring you this original recipe and cooking class by Yayay Organics. We'll let the founder, Chrissy, tell you a little bit more about Yayay Organics. We hope you'll enjoy.
Well, yeah.
Chrissy, the founder of Yaya Organics. This is our incredible head chef, Jessica, and we are here today to do a fun cooking class with you and also just to tell you a little bit about our business. We're a very mission and values-driven company, and our goal is to always educate you and empower you to make healthy decisions to promote your own health and wellness. We truly believe that food is medicine, and when you are able to internalize how different foods make you feel, it becomes a lot easier over time to make healthy decisions. Here at Yaya, which by the way stands for You Are What You Eat, our menu is always 100% plant-based, organic, gluten-free, dairy and egg-free, and free from cane sugars and seed-based oils. And each of our menu items is consciously crafted using our 6 foundational pillars of nutrition. You can visit yayaorganics.com to learn more about these pillars, but just to give you a quick snapshot, they are to eat colorfully, to count nutrients, not calories, hydrate to regulate, eat healthy fats only, arm yourself with antioxidants, and overall eat whole and eat intuitively. For today's meal, we have a really delicious sweet potato hash with an herbed cashew crema that we'll be demonstrating with you all today. And at this point, I will hand it over to Jessica to run through the recipe with you.
Hi, thanks for joining us. My name's Jessica. I'm the head chef at Yaya Organics. This afternoon we're going to be making a sweet potato and kale hash. Everyone should have the ingredients already prepped out in their kits, but let's just go ahead and go over them. We have diced sweet potato, we have diced tomato, diced bell pepper, and diced red onion. We're gonna go ahead and take these over to the stove. Let's go. All right, so we have a pan heating up on low heat. We're gonna turn that up to medium-high. We're gonna start with about a tablespoon of coconut oil. We're just gonna put that directly into the pan. All right, first thing we're gonna add in is our diced red onion, our red bell pepper, and our diced tomato. Our sweet potato. We're going to add in our paprika. Garlic powder. Three-fourths cup of water. And then we're just going to go ahead and put a lid on top of that. And we're going to let it go for about 5 minutes before giving it a stir.
While you wait for your dish to cook, please remember that our chefs are standing by in the chat to answer any questions you may be having. We are now ready to play trivia. I am so excited to introduce you to Nyambe Ladan, our youth program director. Nyambe has been with Groundwork Denver for about a year and grew up in the Montbello neighborhood of Denver. Welcome, Nyambe.
Thank you so much, Cindy. I'm excited to play trivia with you all today. Here's how it's going to work. You should have received a sheet in your inbox or food box with the trivia questions. Follow along and compete against those in your house. You'll be playing for bragging rights with those in your own home. We've got 5 questions during this time. Each question will be repeated once, so please listen carefully. Unlike in-person trivia, feel free to cheat by looking online or asking a friend.
Let's practice with our first question. Groundwork Denver's unofficial tagline is A, doers, not talkers, B, peas and trees, C, we love dirt, or D, environmental justice now. Again, our first question is, Groundwork Denver's unofficial tagline Is A, doers, not talkers, B, peas and trees, C, we love dirt, or D, environmental justice now? Do you have your answer? It's A, doers, not talkers. Groundwork Denver began in 2002 when a group of community leaders demanded to be more involved with making decisions that affected their neighborhood and their environment. Groundwork Denver was created to help be a bridge between neighborhood residents, the city, and other partners working to clean up the land, water, and air.
So how are you all doing? Wonderful. Our second question is related to our energy program. Question 2, in the past 12 years, how many energy-saving light bulbs has our energy program distributed in the Denver metro area? A, 5,000, B, 11,000, C, 15,000, or D, 23,000? Here's that question again. In the past 12 years, how many energy-saving light bulbs has our energy program distributed in the Denver metro area? A, 5,000, B, 11,000, C, 15,000, or D, 23,000? Drum roll, please. And the answer is D, 23,000 light bulbs. In addition to providing easy energy-saving solutions like these light bulbs, our energy program helps families who couldn't otherwise afford it to make energy-saving and healthy changes to their homes, including adding insulation or replacing dangerous and leaky furnaces. In just 2019 alone, Groundwork Denver has helped Denver and Commerce City residents save 90,000 kilowatts of energy and about $40,000 in energy bills.
We hope you're winning so far. All right, here's question 3. Fighting for climate justice is as easy as A, planting trees in under-resourced neighborhoods, providing shade, cleaner air, and mental health benefits of greenery in the city. B, installing rain barrels and rain gardens, which reduce flooding and conserve water. C, growing food locally, which reduces energy use and improves the health of those who have access to it. Or D, all of the above. Do I need to repeat the question? All right. Fighting for climate justice is as easy as A, planting trees in under-resourced neighborhoods, providing shade, cleaner air, and mental health benefits of greenery in the city. B, installing rain barrels and rain gardens, which reduce flooding and conserve water. C, growing food locally, which reduces energy use and improves the health of those who have access to it. Or D, all of the above. All right, I hope you didn't have to cheat for that one. It's D, all of the above. Our climate justice work encompasses all of the above while working directly with community members to identify solutions that work for them.
Before our next question, please take a second to carefully remove the pot lid and give your sweet potato hash a quick stir. At this point, feel free to add a pinch of salt and a few cracks of freshly ground pepper. Then replace the lid and let's keep it cooking while we get back to our trivia game. Finally, our last question before we hand it back over to the chefs. True or false? Our green teams and blue teams are made up of passionate, hardworking youth and young adults who improve the environment in their own neighborhoods, bring home a paycheck to their families, and learn leadership and career building skills along the way. Again, true or false? Our green teams and blue teams are made up of passionate, hardworking youth and young adults who improve the environments in their own neighborhoods, bring home a paycheck to their families, and learn leadership and career building skills along the way. And that was a trick question. The answer, of course, is true. So please stick around to hear directly from some of our alumni on how Groundwork Denver has impacted their lives.
Thank you so much for playing. You are all winners to us. And before we turn it back to our chefs, we want to remind you of our silent auction that is ending at 11:30. Please take the time now to make sure you haven't been outbid.
And if you found this to be fun and inspiring, please donate today and help us continue our amazing progress in our communities. Text DONATE to 94502 to get a link to our donate page. And please stick around to learn more.
All right, so in the meantime, while our hash is cooking, we're gonna go ahead and walk through the steps for making the herbed cashew crema. Everyone should have this pre-prepared in their box that you received, but we're just gonna go through the steps of how to make it so you know how to make it for yourself at home. So to start with, we have our soaked cashews. You wanna soak them for at least 30 minutes to an hour, but preferably overnight to make sure that they're nice and soft. We also have our Groundwork Greens herbs. These came straight from the greenhouse. We have a red sorrel, we have dill, chopped chive, and basil. Other ingredients that we're putting into the cashew crema, we have Dijon mustard, garlic, and it calls for 2 tablespoons of lemon. That's gonna be about 2 lemons. All right, let's get started. Go over how to clean and wash kale. So you should have 2 types of kale in your basket, a lacinato kale and a curly red kale. We're going to just lightly wash those in the sink. While you're washing the lacinato kale, you want to take time to kind of massage the leaves and really break up those like tough fibrous parts. And then you're going to strip the leaf of the kale and leave the woody stem to the side. Set that over here. Strip that. Give it a nice wash and massage. And then you're going to do the same for the purple kale. Wash the leaves. Take off the woody stem part. Give it a nice squeeze. Don't be afraid to get rough with it. We're going to bring those over to our cutting board. And we're just going to do a nice rough chop on those. And you should have about a cup or 2 of chopped kale. All right, we're going to take the kale that we just chopped up and go ahead and add that to our hash. I would add this in the last 2 to 3 minutes of cooking because it should cook pretty quickly. We just put the lid back on and we're going to let that steam for a few minutes.
And speaking of potatoes, they often get a bad rap because they're usually fried in toxic oils, sprinkled with processed cheeses, or mashed with milk and cream. But potatoes are actually some of the healthiest foods on the planet. They contain all 9 essential amino acids, organic compounds that combine to form proteins, making them the building blocks of life. Today we're specifically working with sweet potatoes, which are abundant in fiber and antioxidants to promote healthy guts and reduce inflammation. And they're particularly rich in beta-carotene, the antioxidant responsible for the veggie's bright orange color. Beta-carotene is converted to vitamin A in your body, which plays a crucial role in maintaining healthy vision. We could talk for hours about all of the different health benefits of today's ingredients, but we'll keep it short.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and pull our hash off the stove and go ahead and plate it. Take the lid off, bring this right over here. Almost all of the water should be reduced out of your pan. We're just going to place that directly into a bowl. now you're going to top this with a little bit of your herbed cashew crema. And some green onions. And that's all she wrote.
Thank you to our partners at Yaye Organics for sharing your talent and passion for local food with our supporters today. This is your last reminder that our silent auction is closing at 11:30. As you sit down to your tasty food, we have a treat for you. As I mentioned before, I got involved with Groundwork Denver first as a youth employee on our green team. 10 years later, I now serve on Groundwork Denver's board of directors. I'm so happy to have here Nyambe, Sadat, and Joe. Nyambe is our program director, and Sadat and Joe are two other Green Team alumni. Please welcome Sadat, Joe, and Nyambe. I have a couple questions for our panel here today, and if you have any of your own, please add them to the chat, and we will choose a couple to ask. Sadat, you and I started on the Green Team 10 years ago, and now you are the program director. Can you tell us a little bit about your journey to where you are today?
So yeah, as you mentioned, I started about 10 years ago. I joined as part of the my high school junior year internship. I volunteered first, but I stayed on because I really enjoyed working with the community gardens and national parks and just in my community in general. That really kept me on. And I took some years off to really focus on education and gain some work experience. When I came back, I was hired as a youth team supervisor for a team managing 2 DPS school farms. And as you know, we grew tons of food there, literally grew, harvested, and gave tons of food back to the community. And shortly after that, I heard of an opening in the energy team as an energy auditor. I jumped on the position just because of the description was very well-rounded. And for the past 4 years, I've been an energy auditor, just gaining and absorbing as much knowledge as I can. And I jumped on the opportunity to become the program director as well. And I've been enjoying that position now since, I believe, about May now. And I hope to continue my work here at Groundwork Denver and be a member of the community. Yeah.
Thanks. Joe, hey.
Hey.
You've been on our water-based blue team for about 5 years and just got promoted to program staff support. Yes. Can you tell us a little bit about why you've stayed with Groundwork Denver for so many years?
Yeah, I just really love the organization, and ever since my first day, they just really made me feel confident that I had something to offer and that, that I could pass that on to others. And so working with Groundwork has really given me the opportunity to build on my skills and knowledge. I visited so many national parks and worked on so many projects, and my favorite part about that is that I've got to teach that to other youth and give them the same opportunity that was given to me to really build their confidence and, teach them that they can really be leaders. Even though we are young, we can make the biggest changes.
Thanks. Hi, Nyambe.
Hi.
As the program youth director, can you tell us a little bit about what makes Groundwork Denver's youth so special?
Oh man, so they definitely are very special. And I had the opportunity to meet Groundwork youth before I even worked with Groundwork. I've worked in the past with Beverly Grant, Mo Better Green, and that's where I first met some of the youth, helping her with her markets, and the dedication, the way they showed up, the camaraderie between them. And then now being in this role and being able to really get to know them and see the stats of the work that's been done over the past 18 years. Just the dedication and the return rate is so high for Groundwork with the youth. So not only, they really enjoy the program, but they make it. They make this program. I am here just to support them, and it's really amazing. It feels so good to be here to support them and to watch them work and grow. Yeah.
Thanks for introducing yourselves. I feel so connected to everything y'all are saying. And now we have a few questions for you all. Again, if you all have questions, please drop them in the chat and we'll pick a few to ask later on. We'll start with you, Sadat. Could you please tell us about your first day at Groundwork Denver?
So yeah, my first day, about 10 years ago, I expected to be working at a community garden. That was no surprise, but what was a surprise to me was knowing how we were going to get there. Come to find out that we're going to jump on our bikes and cycle all the way there. So it was about 3 to 4 miles of biking uphill. And at the end of the bike, I just remember being super exhausted, super fatigued, not knowing if I would have enough energy to make it through the day. Luckily, I made it through the day, and I was able to bike back to the office. And I think after that, it really sparked an interest in me into live an active lifestyle and just maintain a healthy lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to bike 10 miles on my first day, so I totally get that. That whole, I don't know if I was going to make it. No, I understand. Joe, can you tell us a little bit about your first day?
Yeah, my first day starts with an interesting story. So my crew was already at the work site, which was Little Scraggy Mountain Bike Trail, and we were going to help build and do some maintenance on the trail, and we're driving up with my boss at the time, and he has his 2 sons with him, and we stop at a gas station, and his son hops in the driver's seat, and he leans the seat all the way back and then jumps in the back seat like nothing happened. And me being my first day at work, I'm like, what's going on? And then he walks back to the car and gives me the funniest look, and then the kid's just laughing in the back, so I just let it sit at that. But upon arriving at our work site was one of my favorite parts, because I got to see my coworkers were young teenagers who looked just like me from the city, who were so similar. And I just remember going to sleep that night in my tent with like a really big smile, because I'm like, man, I'm camping and I'm at work and I'm getting paid. Like, what more could a young 18-year-old want?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Nyambe, what about you? Can you tell us about your first day?
Yeah, it's not as eventful at all as you all's. It was actually October 31st, so Halloween was my first day last year, so I'll be hitting my year mark this week coming up. And I came in and to the office 8 o'clock a.m. and there was a beautiful sign that somebody had hand drawn welcoming me, and right behind my desk. And so I just kind of went, started to, familiarize myself, and I felt really welcome right away and supported.
That's good. That's good. My next question is, what do you want folks to know about Groundwork Denver that's not on our website? Joe, let's start with you.
I want people to know that our staff, they're real life superheroes. And I don't mean that they wear capes or have superpowers, but it's the small things like biking to work and teaching about recycling, and also just volunteering in the community and growing food in their gardens to share with the community. Everyday small things like that, I believe, make our staff heroes. So thank you.
If there's anyone out there who makes business cards, let me know. I want that added to mine, please. Nyambe, what about you?
I know we're highlighting Groundwork Denver, but I think most people don't know that we're a part of a national family. So there are Groundwork trusts all over the country, and we just had a beautiful conference where we got to learn some of the amazing projects that other trusts are doing. And so I challenge you, yes, to definitely go on, look at our website, and also check out other Groundworks that are in the country.
Shout out to Groundwork USA. Sadat, what about you?
I would just like to emphasize that Groundwork Denver really does help people, families, communities, and all walks of life. It doesn't really matter if they're a new home buyer, or if they've been living in their home for the past 30, 40 years. Groundwork Denver really does the best they can to help families to get them to know how to save energy and maintain an energy efficient home.
Yes. This is true. As I mentioned, we were going to be taking some questions from the audience. So our first question is, how did COVID-19 change your work? Nyambe, let's start with you.
So we were pretty resilient, I will say that first, but we started 2 weeks late just to be sure that we had all of the COVID protocols understood by all staff. We also reduced the size of our teams, our green teams and blue teams. But yeah, other than that, and then we had to piece some things together. A lot of our partners didn't have things going on this season due to COVID, and so we rearranged, but we had a beautiful season. We still were able to employ almost 70 youth and do projects still in neighborhoods, growing a lot of food distribution, so filling in that need.
Hashtag can't stop, won't stop.
That's right.
Sadat, what about you?
Well, because my specific program, the energy programs, we do have in-home visits. So we had to take about 2 months off from our in-home visits. But during that time, we pulled together and managed to create a set of procedures and protocols to keep both the clients and our own staff safe. And we can say so far confidently that they have been keeping us safe. So yeah, we were able to have the chance to get us ready to come back into homes. So that's not stopping us now. If somebody out there is looking for a home energy audit, reach out to us, please.
Joe, I'm going to pivot a little bit and ask another question from the audience. Can you tell or describe what the youth program is?
So for me, as the supervisor of the Blue Team, the youth program gives youth in underserved communities work opportunities in their communities, such as like tree planting, water sampling. We also help run urban gardens, and we do outreach, which involves like passing out light bulbs and teaching people about the Denver recycling program, as well as the compost and everything else in between. One day we'll be biking to the farm and harvesting gardens. The next day we'll be knocking at your door asking you if you want a light bulb.
We do it all. We do it all. Nyambe, how would you describe the youth program?
I feel like it's like a diving board. It's a way to get youth involved in their community as it relates to environmental injustices, really pushing for environmental justice. So helping the community be more involved in those decisions and also in some of the smaller projects that happen in communities. And it's also a career pathway. So our biggest goal, as you can see here today, we have Sadat and Joe and Michaela, who all started on the green teams or blue team, and who've moved on to careers that reflect some of the things they learned or picked up at Groundwork. So yeah, I see it as like a diving board to jump into the pool of really whatever, of course environmental awareness, but also to a career that can give you satisfaction and also financial support and stability.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your Groundwork story with us today. Please give us just a second so we can welcome back up Cindy. Hey.
All right, thanks to our wonderful staff for being here today. As you have just heard, we are doing some transformative work with our youth in our greenhouse and on our climate and energy programs to improve our environment and the health and well-being of the people in our community. If you are energized by our work and want to see it continue, we are asking that you donate today to support Groundwork Denver. To donate now, text DONATE to 94502 to get a link to our donate page. To give you some examples of how your dollars will be used, a donation of $1,000 will feed 8 families that deserve access to fresh food from our greenhouse for a year.
$500 will provide 1 week's worth of employment to a youth, bringing home income to their family and leadership skills to last a lifetime. $250 will provide the supplies we need to test our water and ensure it is safe for families and kids to play in. And $100 will allow us to help one resident reduce their energy bills and keep them safer and more secure in their home.
We know this has been a difficult year for many people and families in our community. We are so grateful that you have chosen to spend some time with us today. As we continue to raise funds for the amazing work of Groundwork Denver, we ask you to think about what you are able to give today. If your work situation did not change this year, or you saved money from not traveling, or you otherwise find yourself financially able to support us with a gift of $250, $500, or $1,000 today, we are grateful that you chose to support us and the youth and the community leaders we work with.
If you are able to give a donation of $50, $100, or any other amount today, please know we are grateful for your support and your trust in our resources.
As we talked about earlier, a generous anonymous donor has agreed to match gifts up to $1,500 during our event today. So if you give now, your donation will be doubled and you will help us get to our goal of $5,000. Thank you again for your generosity.
While you complete your donations and check out, please enjoy this short film about our Groundwork Greens hydroponic greenhouse.
And we're almost done. We hope you enjoyed our film and getting to know us today. Thank you so much to our sponsors, our amazing staff and board, our supporters, including our last community action sponsors, Tammy and Carolyn, and Carmel, Malcolm, and Arrow, who helped make this event possible. Thanks to you at home, staying safe and helping us grow at the same time.
We've learned that we've raised $1,500 in donations, making us eligible for our anonymous donor match. Thank you to everyone who made this possible. You can still donate online through our event link. Thank you to all of us who are helping reach this goal.